All right, what's going on? Everybody, GB Card Stacks here. I had a pretty decent weekend of sales. First weekend of college football just after week 0. Some good stuff sold. I think it was like $265-ish on my eBay order total when I went to go print the labels. So let's run through everything that sold, talk about it. Hopefully we learn something new about the market, about players, anything. That's what I'm here for. So let's start it off with Mercari, actually. So going back to Mercari, let's get this in focus here. I made a video, is it worth it to sell Mercari? I posted about 20-ish of these trick or trade cards, which a lot of people are selling packs for $8. Maybe some people are like, oh, it's 3 packs for $8, but people are like flipping these on Whatnot, which is insane. But you can get a bag at Sam's Club for, what is it, $30 for 70 packs, or Walmart has 45 for like $22. I ripped open 2 Walmart bags. I probably should have ripped open, I probably should have ripped open a Sam's Club bag, but I don't go there very often. Nonetheless, Keon Coleman, I think this sold for like $3 or $4, $3, I'd say. Nothing crazy. I'm just gonna keep the Mercari app, and if anything else sells, I get likes every now and then. Like Bo Nix has obviously been super high. He was just named the starter. A few other guys, the Drake Mays and Joe Miltons, the quarterbacks, the big names. I was kind of shocked. Keon Coleman is that guy that sold. Who was my first one? Brock Purdy, I think, sold for $4. So it is what it is. All right, Malachi Nelson, Leaf Metal, 9 of 9 auto. I picked this one up on Twitter for $10. That's around the range. I have 3 Malachi Nelson autos to my name. Not a guy that I was buying. I've talked about it before. 5-star kid at USC, was like the number 2 quarterback prospect in the country. I had heard some meh things about him, just reading into the details that he's, not character concerns, but just, not the hardest worker, I guess. I don't know. Stuff like that is what was kind of, I guess, being leaked out. Is it true? I don't know. I don't really care. But going to Boise State, I was like, good for him. Dropping down a level, go to a place where you can start. He wasn't even named the starter. Is he the bust? The 5-star bust that, couldn't get a straight, or is it these recruiting websites that missed so badly on their evaluation? You tell me. But yeah, not the starter. Some 3-star kid out of the 2021 class or whatever is now the starter again. I was not high on Malachi Nelson. I was not high on Boise State. He was never someone where he's like, oh, he's such a great value, a college football playoff contending team. Yeah, they've got Ashton Jeanty, but for me, I was like, I'm not going to put my faith in a kid who's never even started a game and is just supposed to light it up because he was labeled as a 5-star, a number 2 prospect. Not for me. I've got to see something to buy into freshmen or really believe in them. So got out of this at $15. I'm probably making $1 or $2, which is kind of crazy, but it's not even worth holding Malachi Nelson for me at this point. I'm going to try to sell out of everything. I was buying in that $10 to $15 range. I might have maybe paid up 20 on one of them, but if I can just get rid of all 3, put my money into something else, I'm with it. DJ Uiagalelei, Florida State National Pack. This is the second of, I think, 10 that I bought. I bought them for $2 a piece right after the National. Not a DJ Uiagalelei guy. I tweeted just before I bought this card or this lot. I was like, I have zero FOMO going into the season, not owning a single DJ Uiagalelei card. Not even a thought in my mind where I'm like, ooh, like, could Florida State make the playoffs? Like, could they win the ACC? That was never in my thought. I've said it before. You lost 10, 12, 13, 14 guys to the NFL, 2 on your defensive line in the top 50. You lost 2 receivers, your quarterback, who I had Jordan Travis. I'm not a Florida State hater by any means. I had Jordan Travis as my Heisman pick. You could argue once he got hurt, he was the most valuable player in the country. I know it's not based off value. What is it based off? Media and stats? I don't know. But love Jordan Travis, Trey Benson, all those guys, Kalen DeLoach. With what they brought in Miami backups, Alabama backups, and those are their starters now, so it just didn't make sense. Very similar to, the fall off with TCU, what UW is going to see. UW wasn't even preseason ranked, and they, granted, they lost like 22 starters out of 24, even with specialists, and they didn't bring over a ton from Arizona. Shout out Jed Fish. So they're not ranked, right? So like Norvell didn't really do much in the portal, in my opinion. So I was not high on them. But again, I felt like there was value at $2 a piece. This is going to be his only Florida State license card for a while until Bowman University is released. So I felt good just buying up the scarcity of it. I'm curious, what happens to these packs after the National? What happens to them? I don't know. I don't know if they're in circulation or what happens exactly, but it was just kind of hey, I'm going to buy it up. If Florida State fans want a DJ Uiagalelei card in the jersey, perfect. Good for me. Now with that, I don't know if they're going to want DJ Uiagalelei cards anymore after that performance. It wasn't necessarily his fault. Tackling was really poor. Play calling, iffy. A lot of things went wrong. He was elite on third down. Was there a fourth down conversion in there somewhere? But just frustrating to watch. I'm okay. I'm okay with the play calling to an extent. Look, we wrote off DJ Uiagalelei. I'm going on a tangent here, but this is just how passionate I am. We wrote off DJ Uiagalelei after his second year at Clemson, or third year, whatever it was. We said he wasn't any good. Goes to Oregon State, good for him. Goes back West Coast, kind of, is able to, I don't know, stay out of the limelight, I guess. No one's really paying attention to Oregon State. Shout out VDZ. He didn't really do much there. You had a loaded box with Damon Martinez. Now he goes to Florida State, and now he's suddenly, a college football playoff contender. I just didn't see it. It wasn't for me. I don't know where I was going with that. DJ, Florida State, contenders. Oh, so, okay, we know what he is, right? And I thought Norvell called a decent first quarter, second quarter, I would say. It's raining, hit the run. That first drive, they looked dominant. Georgia Tech kind of woke up, kind of got punched in the mouth, and they figured it out. The defense really turned it up. I don't know. You just play within let the game come to you. You don't need to do anything fancy. Now, those third quarter play calls, or third down play calls, those were elite. He looked really good, but yeah, that one sold after the very first drive. So I have sold 2 of those. I'm almost in the money. I'm 1 card short of being in the money on that. I'm cool with it. I can sell those cards at $5 a piece, make money out of it, whatever. So that's my DJ Uiagalelei. I talked about it in one of my videos. Give me Georgia Tech. It moved from 13.5 to 10.5. Didn't matter. I was taking it, or in my head. I stayed away from it just because it's going to be a good game in my head, so I don't need to put money on it to be invested. But I'd also said on my channel many times, Georgia Tech offense is going to be a problem. I'm not high on Florida State, so didn't need to make money off it necessarily. All right, after all of that, Florida State jibber jabber. Jacob Cowing, man, he's been going off. I told you guys he is going to be the truth. He's been productive everywhere he's been. He's top 10 in receiving yards in college football, all-time college football record holder. Granted, that list, where are they now? Yeah, not the most relevant or pertinent in terms of, success. But Jacob Cowing, man, I believe in him. Good route runner, good in open space, yards after catch. He's just smooth. He's a really good receiver. I really like him. And in one of my videos before, I was like, I don't know why, but I just always buy 3 cards. I always within my PC or Bowman University, at least for Arizona. I have 3 of each. Tetro McMillan, I've probably got about 20 to 30 of those sapphires. But in terms of autos, I had 3 gold autos, and I'm like, all right, I'm cool to sell one, and I've got 2 of them. I've had this listed for $60 since the Alamo Bowl, which I always thought, it's I don't expect it to sell at $60, but if someone wants to come up and buy it, great. If I'm the only one, these were about $30, $40, any given day, 22 on the low end, I would say. I listed it for $60 after he had a great Alamo performance. And I'm like, all right, cool. I don't expect it to sell, but hey, if someone's willing to come up, great. I'll make money on it. I buy 2 or 3 copies, whenever I see them go cheap. If there's going to be a low comp, it might as well be me, especially if it's a PC card. I'll snatch another one. And I believed in Jacob Cowing. Not to the extent, is he the next Tank Dell, like some people are saying? Hold your horses there. But I really believe in Jacob Cowing. I think he's going to be successful. And in that offense, I love the 49ers. I think you can plug and play a lot of guys in there to be successful. So he's been tearing it up in the preseason. A lot of good word coming out of camp. Ricky Pearsall's injury, which I'm also invested, mentally in Ricky, I guess, coming out of Corona del Sol High School. I hope to collect some of his bigger cards. Anyways, Jacob Cowing, it sold. And then once this sold, I knew there were some on ComC where it was like $33-ish. So as soon as this sold, I went to go check ComC. Mine sold from promoted listing, and it's still there. So I bought that one, relisted it for $70. The gold Bowman bests are doing like $50 now. There was a teal geometric best PSA 8 that sold for like over $100. His market is going crazy. I'm with it. I hope everyone is a Jacob Cowing believer. Another Jacob Cowing actually sold. This one was in the Good Deals Discord. I don't remember how much I paid. I think it was like $6 to $10, maybe $12 all in. And this one sold first, and I listed it for $30. I had already had a copy. I'm cool with it. What I should have checked to see is this one in better condition. Not that I'm a huge condition guy, but I guess if I've got two, I might as well compare. But this one sold for $30, so making, I don't know, what is that, $15 after fees and such. So Jacob Cowing, definitely getting hot. I think he's going to be good. Phil Mafah, gold, true gold auto, number 50. I had this listed for $40. Someone sent a very fair offer at $36. And if you're, I don't have a threshold on my buy best offers, buy it nows anymore. I used to be like 50 or 60%. Now I just leave it open. If someone wants to send a $1 offer to me, cool. I don't care. I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to let it expire. Haha, your money's tied up, and it is what it is. That's on you for throwing out the offer. But two, it shows competing offers to anyone who clicks on that or tries to make an offer, and they don't know where that offer is. Maybe it's a pretty competitive offer. So maybe psychologically they're like, okay, I gotta, there's two competing offers on this card. I gotta send a better offer out. Whatever. I don't know. Does it work? I don't know. Does the algorithm see, oh, this person's getting some offers, now we're gonna push it through wherever it push it towards the top? I don't know. But I like having competing offers on now, and if they want to lowball me, it doesn't bother me anymore. It's not like before I'd be like, oh, get real, bucko, get out of here, get out of town. But now I'm like, yeah, it doesn't bother me. It benefits me now, I think. So we'll see. So yeah, very fair offer at 36. I had it at 40. What's $4 going to be for me? So just getting my money out. I have a gold lava. I'm curious. Sometimes I see gold lava sell for more than true gold. This one is a little weird. I feel like there's a couple players whose gold doesn't look as gold as it should. Like this one's a little yellow-ish, I feel, but it's gold to 50. Anyways, and I have a orange sapphire PSA 9. I bought that from Card Collector 2 for like $40, graded it, got a 9. I was hopeful for a 10, of course, who isn't? But that was a decent sale. I typically don't buy gold autos over $30. And especially Phil Mafah, I was probably at like 22 at my max. You can get a lot of gold autos for Bowman University under $20. You just have to be on the lookout. So that was a good sale. Brandon Inniss. I've had this for a decent amount of time, and this I've been sitting on. And at the end of the day, I was like, I probably shouldn't have bought it. I bought this on DC Sports 87. This was the only card I won at auctions that entire week. So I was a little bummed. I like to, get my money's worth when it comes to shipping. And I don't like paying. Who likes paying shipping? Like, raise your hand if you like paying $4 for shipping on cards, right? Like, no one loves to do it. So I was like, all right, whatever. I like to stack up. Typically, it's weird. My average for DC is probably like 18 to 21 cards on average, and it's usually like 120 to 180, wherever that usually lands. A little bit higher. Lately, I've been buying some Nico EMA Lava from them. Not a huge Nico guy, but the hype, again, Bowman probably not coming out closer to November. So anyways, I bought this for probably about 15-ish bucks all in. And I was kind of disappointed because I don't want to pay shipping, and I thought like, this would be great if I bought more cards in a lot, and it's like, all right, it starts bringing your average down, your shipping, per card becomes a lot less, whatever. Sold this for $34 shipped. So I'm not a Brandon Inniss guy. Again, recruiting hype, I couldn't be bothered. Ohio State, wide receiver U, I get it. People like that. Just not for me. I mean, he has one catch, 57 yards, I think, against Akron. It did go for a touchdown. I don't know if it was yards after catch or a deep ball. I think it was on the bottom of the sideline, the bottom of the screen, whatever you want to call it. I don't remember, but yeah, I'm not a Brandon Inniss guy. If he pops, I do have stuff. Some of his stuff goes cheap, some of it goes high. Again, your strictly buying into recruiting hype. He's the priciest freshman receiver. Jurion Dickey's out there. He's okay. He's changing his number back. No, he's losing. Yeah. So he was number 13 in his Bowman card, and then he switched to 98 when he got on campus, and now he's back to 13. So does help his card a little bit, I guess, being number 13 on there and in real life and on his card. Anyways, Brandon Inniss, just not for me. You're buying into hype. And I don't, I'm not gonna gamble or prospect on that at that point. There are far better receivers I'd rather put my money into, a la Makai Lemon, who is probably a third of the price with the same recruiting hype, and I believe in his talent just as much as Brandon Inniss, and I see a clear path to potentially play his way up. He had a great game against Louisville. You know how I feel about Makai Lemon. And the last one here, Juju Watkins, PSA 9. I graded 1 or 2 myself, and then I bought one at the Arizona State card show 2-3 weeks ago at this point for, I think, 25-ish bucks. I think I listed this for 44 shipped, which is weird. I'll have to check if it was promoted listing, but mine sold, and there's some for like 25 bucks. So promoted listing, I think, I'll always promote at 2%. I don't get that question a lot anymore, or as much as I used to, but I always go 2%. Does it help? Does everyone do it at this point where it just kind of evens the playing field? I don't know, but I do 2%. I'd like to think that it helps, and this was a promoted listing sale. So, normally I'm a value guy, so I filter lowest to highest. So I don't know if promoted listings, if I help promoted listings, but it is what it is. So that's everything that sold, $265-ish, pretty solid. I don't sell a ton on eBay. I send a ton to ComC. I did post everything that I have on eBay, or I took photos. I have not posted everything, but I'm working on it every single day, trying to be consistent, and I grinded out a ton of listings one day. So a good majority of my stuff is listed for the football season, and did help in some way because a lot of stuff sold. But I really don't sell too much. $250 nowadays is a very solid weekend on eBay, and I'm spending far more than that right now. My buying will slow down during the season just because I don't want to buy into hype and wait for shipping and turnaround times. I don't like buying after a big game because the hype you kind of miss that boat. But especially if you got someone who doesn't ship very often, or it's just late with shipping, prints the label, doesn't actually send it to the post office, and by that time you're probably 2 weeks after, or you're probably about to hit week 3 if you bought that game after week 1. So it doesn't make sense for me. That's why I like ComC as well, just instant flip hype. You can get in and out pretty quick. But buying cards during the season, not for me, unless it's a crazy steal or someone that I'm like, okay, I'm trying to think who's a guy that I could see, where it's just like, all right, that's a cheap buy that I would definitely, Bo Collins, Notre Dame. You can probably find a yellow auto right now for $11.99. I'm like, you know what? He had a good game. I liked what I saw. Where do you go to high school? Bosco? I think he went to St. John Bosco. All right, that's enough. If you enjoyed, drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. If you learned something, let me know, and we'll see you next video. Peace. Love you.